Have you ever gotten screwed over big time by someone? We'll chalk this up to young and dumb. We were in our early 20s and we really wanted out of the apartment that we had been living in. And we were looking at places and found this house for sale. And we reached out to the person to see if they would do a rent to own option. And believe it or not, the chick said that she would. So we went up there and checked the house out, and it was gorgeous. It was completely remodeled from the inside out in the last 6 months. So we got a contract drawn up and signed it, and we ended up moving in December. It was an awful move. There was snow and ice on the ground, but we made it happen. After about the first month, things started going really bad. For one, the house was full of cockroaches. And I'm not talking about little cockroaches. I'm talking about Oriental cockroaches. These suckers were huge. I still have PTSD from this house. I would shine a flashlight in the floor before I would even get out of bed in the morning. I carried a huge fly swatter around with me, and I would kill about 6 of those every morning between getting out of bed and getting ready for work and actually leaving the house. We reached out to the owner, who said that we brought those with us. There's no way. So we ended up, after going back and forth, taking it upon ourselves to treat the situation ourselves. And so my husband sprayed the house with bug spray. Boy, was that a mistake. Not only did it not get rid of the cockroaches, but then we had an infestation of box elder bugs. Don't know what those are? Look them up. And when I say infestation, I mean the entire house was covered in them. This was a house that had vinyl siding. So we suspect that maybe they were in between the vinyl siding and the original house that had brick. And when we sprayed, it made them come out and be on the outside, and also drove them in to the inside of the house. So now we have an infestation inside of cockroaches and box elder bugs. Boy, talk about PTSD. We complained to the owner again, who pretended like she had no clue what we were talking about. And on top of all this, the HVAC system wasn't up to par, because when we moved in December, it was about 45 degrees in the upstairs bedroom, which is where we slept. So we were sleeping under heated blankets and space heaters going, trying to make the house warmer. And of course, the owner, again, no clue. Come to find out, the thermostat wasn't working properly, nor was the house insulated correctly. We also had issues with the fact that she was supposed to have everything out of this house when we moved in. There was still stuff in the attic. There was still stuff in the garage. There was still stuff in a storage shed that was attached to the house, none of which we could put our own personal locks on because she had to have access to it. So there was one day when she reached out to us about mowing the grass, of all things. My husband had been really busy working. I was really busy working, finishing up nursing school as well. We told her that, we would get to it as soon as we can. Well, while both of us were gone one day, she sent some random person over to get in the garage, get her lawnmower out, and mow the grass, and then tried to send us an invoice charging us to pay this person. So at this point, we started to look at legal action because things just were not going well. We were arguing back and forth about everything, and she was resistant to try to do anything to make things better with the house. And since we were rent to own, we sure weren't going to pour our money into it at that time. This was about April when she brings up the rent to own and says, "Hey, aren't you ready to buy the house?" No, the contract was for a year. We've only been here since December. Why would we be ready to buy the house? There was eviction notice on the door for us the next day. We had 30 days to get out. So in May, we moved back into the apartment complex that we originally lived in before we moved into that house. The moral of the story is, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Trust your gut, loves.